We are so excited that Kevin Harlan will be on the call this Sunday when the Vikings take on the 49ers. We are also very lucky that he's with us right now. Kevin, thank you so much for making time for us this week. I really wanted to start this off by saying, when you get Minneapolis, Minnesota on your game assignments, what are your feelings like when you see that?
Man, I am thrilled. Tatum, good to be on with you, and I can't wait to get to the Twin Cities this weekend. I've actually got the Vikings in Green Bay in a couple weeks too, so
Awesome.
I'm gonna see the Vikings twice here in the next couple weeks. And it's my second home. Minneapolis is worked up there for 9 years, and have such great memories. The fact that the Timberwolves are in the Western Conference Finals, I got to spend a lot of time up there this past spring during the NBA playoffs. But getting to do a Vikings game is special. I did multiple games at the Dome and now go in what I think is the best indoor stadium in pro football, US Bank Stadium. So I can't wait to get up there.
Definitely. Well, you do have one of the best matchups, I'd say, of the week, seeing this Vikings-49ers rematch of last year when the 49ers came to Minneapolis. What is the best or the biggest storyline that you're following as you head in to call this game?
I think Sam Darnold continues to be, one of the most intriguing and interesting stories, Tatum, that the NFL has after week one. I just did the 49ers in Santa Clara against the Jets. And I don't know how good the Jets are, but man, the 49ers, they are good. They may be the best team right now in the NFC. I see very little weakness. They got two main parts back with contract extensions on offense. Their quarterback is steady, led the NFL in passer rating last year. Purdy is as advertised. I don't know if McCaffrey's going to play. He is day-to-day. My guess is, and I know nothing, that he will not. It'll be Mason again, who only rushed for 147 yards against one of the best defenses on Monday night. So just having watched San Francisco with my own eye in California, they are a handful. But the Darnold performance in the Meadowlands against the Giants was incredibly intriguing. I know one of your writers in the Twin Cities had kind of compared the first game with the new team and how he has done, and it did not break trend. He has had good games in first games with the Jets in Carolina and San Francisco when he played with the Niners. I hope it continues for the Vikings and we see more of this, because I still think the best is ahead for Sam Darnold.
Yeah, most definitely. And this team is it's very different than the last time the 49ers met. The 49ers feel like they have a lot of the same pieces. They were able to retain those guys. However, this Minnesota team looks vastly different. What do you think this particular team needs to do to be able to stop the 49ers after you've obviously seen what they can do firsthand?
Well, home openers are great. I think there'll be an incredible amount of motion. It is the loudest indoor stadium in the NFL for sure, and that does play a role. And remember, San Francisco made it to the Super Bowl last year. Now the Vikings kind of caught them, I believe, on a bit of a dip in their season. So that was fortuitous, but the Vikings added to it, and the Niners had to kind of gather themselves after that loss last year Monday night. So I think that the Vikings gain significant confidence on what they did in a home opener on the road week one, which is a huge win. To win on the road in this league is just so hard. Winning on the road on opening day, and that stadium's very tough. And that's what I think it'll be for the 49ers. I think it'll be difficult. I think it's one of the best games of the season. A lot of the country is going to see it.
Yes.
I cannot wait for this kickoff. I think I will just say this. Aaron Jones, to me, is one of the most dynamic running backs in the NFL when healthy. He changes a game. He helped Green Bay, who could not, I guess, afford him, or they felt the injuries outweighed what he could do. I hope he stays healthy. I hope he gives you 15 to 16 games this year. And I hope he is just even better than he was last week against the Giants. I'm a huge fan of him, and I know he can change a game. And I think there'll be a lot of reliance on him on offense.
Totally agree. I mean, you could argue that the run game took a huge step up when you add Aaron Jones, and that was something that was difficult to do against that 49ers front last season. And really, the Vikings run game has been such a point of emphasis this offseason. Now, I want to pick your brain about this too, because you also, when you prepare for these games, get a chance to talk to the head coaches and a lot of the players heading into it. What is it like to be able to pick the minds of Kyle Shanahan and Kevin O'Connell, two of the most, dynamic rising coaches in the league?
Well, they're from the same lane, aren't they? Right?
Yeah.
They're offensive coaches, innovative, smart, detail-oriented. That's why they are the kind of coaches they are. Kyle Shanahan right now is probably in that elite category because of what he's done, how he does it. And even when he's got, adversity with injuries and things like that, Tatum, he continues to make strides with the team.
Mm-hmm.
They continue to win, stay the course. They do not blink. They got a great roster. He's helped put it together with John Lynch, their GM. I think Kyle Shanahan is one of the top 5 coaches, as I said, in the NFL. Kevin is clearly on that path, if not knocking on that door. This will be interesting to see how he fares with Darnold over the course of a season, should Sam stay healthy. I thought he did wonders for Cousins. I think he's helped in the development of JJ. I think he has all the things that you want to see in looking down the road, building your future, establishing a foundation. He's got time on his side. He's got the brain power, clearly. He's got the skills to communicate with the players. Like, you can start checking the boxes. Mm-hmm. And they're very similar coaches in that way. They really do a great job with their communicative skills. And I feel very, very strongly about how good a choice that was by the Wills to get him with the Vikings. And just exactly what direction he's taken them. There was a wonderful moment there with Zimmer when the team was making, but this was a great choice and a great move. Mm-hmm. And I think it is applauded by everybody in NFL circles. So the coaching matchup is as terrific as I think the game on the field is going to be.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that, especially when you think of the defensive coordinators going head to head in this one as well. What's intriguing about that?
Brian Flores has had the reputation of being, just blitz crazy. And I can see where he will lessen that a little bit. In fact, I think he did
yeah.
a little bit in week 1. And he has a resume which is enviable with his time in New England with Belichick, his time in Miami where they were winning. And I think he had the time in Pittsburgh where he was able to collect himself. And now with the Vikings, I just think he's a terrific choice. And I've had a chance to meet him on several occasions and like him personally. So I'm a big fan of Coach Flores. And then, Sorensen is new. They've had 3 different coordinators in 3 years with the Niners. Mm-hmm. And you would think, but they've got the same parts, right? So it's just a different guy kind of pushing and pulling the levers. And that's always kind of an interesting evolution. But having watched what I watched this past weekend, and now that they're starting to get kind of, a healthy Nick Bosa, I think they've helped themselves with Malik Collins in the middle of that line. Fred Warner probably is the best middle linebacker in pro football. Charvarius Ward, one of the best shutdown corners in pro football. I love them. I love that defense. Like I said, San Francisco, tip to tail, is probably right now, in my opinion, the best overall team in the NFC. And by the way, might be the best team in pro football. And 1 week is too quick to jump, but knowing what I know, where they've been, chip on their shoulder, losing the Super Bowl last year to the Chiefs, I think they are really hungry.
So then let me ask you this, Kevin. What kind of a statement would it be for the Vikings to pull off that quote-unquote upset with San Francisco coming to US Bank Stadium?
Well, it'll clearly resonate, and as it did last year on Monday night. But for Darnold, this is going to be something like, wait a minute now. He's done this 2 weeks in a row. He's won 2 games. Forget that the Giants are this, and remember that San Francisco is this. But they're playing on the road last week, as I mentioned. Now he comes home and he can duplicate it in front of the home crowd. There's got to be some built-in pressure right there. If he can get close to what he did last week and the Vikings to win, that is a profound statement in a division where everybody is picking the Lions and probably just kind of putting themselves on pause, hitting that button with Green Bay because of Jordan Love. What really could be an interesting game is in a couple weeks at Lambeau when the Vikes go to play the Packers, and that may be the return of Love, who, by the way, I understand is questionable for this week, which when we all saw the knee move and pop from Brazil, it looked like, like this looks serious. But it's a mild MCL strain. You could have undefeated team, or you could have a undefeated Viking team going on the road into Green Bay against the Packers, and that could be a whale of a game.
Yeah,
but
that
first
would
thing
be
first,
something.
now the Niners this week, and that will be a handful, believe me.
Well, thank you so much, Kevin. We look forward to having you return to Minneapolis to call this game, and then obviously in a couple weeks for that Vikings-Packers game. You can catch NFL on CBS analyst Kevin Harlan, Trent Green, and Melanie Collins on Sunday's call. NFL on CBS kickoff is at noon. Thanks again, Kevin, for your time.
Tatum, always a pleasure. Thanks so much. I can't wait to get up there.